Hello, friends. Okay, it's a bit too bright. There we go. Welcome in. How is everyone doing today? Happy Sunday. Everyone's wishing each other that. I love to see it. Hello, Kimmers. Hi, Paloozer. Welcome in. Scaramouche wants us to send the broth over. No, you gotta come and have some though. And hi, Most Post. How have you been? We have an elevator complete with music? Yeah, who even knew? How have you been, Most Post? And hi, Cookie. Hope you're doing well today. Hello to Happy. Great to see you. Cookie's got a nice crisp fall day there. It's actually really nice out today again. It's wonderful. Hi, White Dove. Hello, Mina Rose. Nessie also. Squigs. Yeah, music. Squigs, I saw your hot sauce. How did that turn out? Did you spice up your life or what? Cookie, thank you so much. Not even for me. Hi, Astra, he says. Tier 2 resub for the Real Magic Cookie 29 months in a row. Insane. Yeah, let's get some hypes in chat. Thank you so much, Cookie, for all of this support over the last 29 months. Over 2 years now. That is crazy to think. And yeah, just thank you very much. We appreciate you always being around and supporting us. Oh, okay. The term music, at least in the US, often used as a term for most forms of background music. Hey, learning something new today. Thanks, Paloozer. Day is now complete. We can do a check mark. Squigs, you're disappointed that the hot sauce didn't turn out hotter, but at least it has good flavor. Well, that's good. You gotta start somewhere, right? And yeah, how's Astra? Hi, bubbers. She did not want to go to bed with her humans last night. She really wanted to stay inside and guard the pho broth all night. All night, very busy. But yeah, today we are creating a special meal for my brother, Rando Chrome. He also streams on Twitch. If you've ever been over in his shop, that's also where we're going to be building out the truck. So stay tuned for that. He saved up his Twitch channel points. We call them pots and pans over here. And 75,000 of those saved up. I'm not sure actually how long it takes you guys to save it up if you watch concurrently. Let me know though if you figure it out. I think it's a couple months though, at least. But yeah, he saved up those and asked me to make him some pho soup today. I have eaten it before, but this is actually my first time ever making Vietnamese pho soup, so I'm very excited. We followed the Matheson recipe, the Bone Broth Brigade Oxtail Pho. So the broth has been going for 2 days now, fully, and now finally on the 3rd day we can finish it up. Cookie, your cat guarded the chicken while it was roasted in the oven last night. So adorable, right? Good afternoon, FCB. How are you? Hopefully less busy than yesterday. You still laugh going into the local grocery store? Smells like Teen Spirit would be playing, but no lyrics. Yeah, played on like a tenor saxophone. Yeah, so I worked at a grocery store for my first job ever, Save on Foods, which is actually where I shop a lot still. 14 years old, you got to learn all of like the entire store soundtrack within a week or so, and then it's like, oh no. Oh, no, KN, you made oxtail osso buco. Also a very nice thing to do with oxtail, and I think we'll probably get into that this winter because I've been wanting to make that too. We've never done it on stream before, and the oxtail just looked so good. Okay, so menu. Here she is, Vietnamese pho soup with, actually instead of beef brisket, we used a beef outside round, but had a very similar meat texture and meat grain in it. So we thought that would go well. Pop some oxtail in there, and then the broth was also made with beef marrow bones. And then to finish off the soup, we will soften up some rice noodles, garnish with cilantro, mint, lime, bean sprouts. And then typically it's also served with little sauce pots on the table of either hoisin sauce or sriracha. And sometimes, even if you're lucky, like a hot chili oil Maybe we'll make a bit of chili oil quick today. That would be yummy. Keep us warmed up, right? Hi, Dust. Thank you very much. Look at these long-term resubs. This is insane. Thank you for the 27 months in a row. How did your cookout go yesterday, Dust? What was your favorite food that you had? And that's a choo-choo for you. Thank you for kicking it off. Now you want pho. And Scaramouche, thank you for the 101 bits. You had to get that uneven, right? Just to bug them. I love it. And yeah, the recipe is linked in the description for Matty's videos, and we're actually going to watch it together today. It's a really good video. I heckin' love Matty Matheson. He's an awesome Canadian chef from more like out east, we can say. We've read through his first cookbook entirely before on stream, made a couple recipes from it as well. But I don't think I've ever really made any of his online recipes before from like just a dash, etc. of what he has going on. So yeah, we'll pop that up, get a good idea of what we're getting into today, and away we go. It'll be quite quick to finish this off, I will say that. Had to make the bits uneven. Savage. You've never had pho, Mina Rose, but it sounds good. Yeah, it's a very flavorful and like spiced broth. I am excited for it. Here, let me quickly switch this up. Just move this over for a second. I just want to show you how it's looking so far. It's been really hard to keep smelling this over the last 2 nights sleeping. So yeah, it's just been simmering. So yesterday, you can see like the nice fat layer on top too. We added in onion, garlic, coriander, cinnamon, star anise, and I think that was it. And let that go overnight. And yeah, we just kept it on low and literally have to keep it covered. Otherwise it smells too heckin' good in here. It was good, Dust. You guys kept it simple. Just some wings and potato salad. Nice. Apparently chicken wings are really hard to find right now, at least around there. We had an interesting experience with that before when we were working in a restaurant is, yeah, there was a shortage at one time. And then when that happens, the price skyrockets. You can't just take chicken wings off the menu if you're a brew pub when all of your customers are expecting that to be a thing, right? Food supply chain is always interesting, Dust. Okie dokes. I think one other thing I want to quickly do before we watch the vid together is I would love to know the history behind this dish. That's one thing I don't know. Is the origin of pho. It's not pronounced pho. It's pronounced pho. And now that you know this, some Vietnamese restaurants kind of play around with the wording and pronunciation of it. It's like one is Pho King restaurant, but if you say it properly, it's like fucking restaurant. It's like, I like this. I'm in. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so they say this is a Vietnamese soup dish consisting of broth, rice noodles, herbs, and meat, sometimes even chicken. It's popular in Vietnam, where it's served in households, street stalls, and restaurants countrywide. And it is also considered Vietnam's national dish. Now we know. Yeah, Pho King. Totally, Nike. How are you doing? How are you doing? So pho originated in the early 20th century in northern Vietnam and then was popularized throughout the world by refugees after the Vietnam War. Because pho's origins are poorly documented, there is disagreement over the cultural influences that led to its development in Vietnam, as well as the etymology of the name. What is that? Oh, okay, wait. Closer.
Yeah, zooming in.
You just have to angle it. It's not hard. You're not the streamer. There it is. Delicious. Now that's a business card. They are not messing around. Hippie, how have you been? We are having a nice weekend. How was your weekend? So good to see you. And thanks, friendos, for kicking off with an awesome low hype train this morning. Choo choo. Thank you. I got all the level 1 emotes now. Hi, Greek. How are you doing? Diggity dog. Welcome, welcome. Goat Farmer Bluesy. Are you making oxtail noodle soup? I love oxtail. Yeah, we're doing the Vietnamese pho, but with oxtail and a couple other different cuts. Okay. So the Hanoi and Saigon styles of pho. So Hanoi is northern Vietnam, Saigon is southern. So obviously they differ by noodle width, sweetness of broth, and choice of herbs. Maybe Matty will tell us which version he was leaning towards in his recipe that he shared with us. Hopefully he says it in the vid. Otherwise, we can just guesstimate. Chat's weird for you, Greek, but you're still here. Well, I'm happy to hear it. Hippie, you've been okay. Traveling, rushing around this weekend. Hope to chill tonight. Well, yeah, the last day of the weekend. I hope you get to relax a bit. Hello, Torino. Width matters? For noodles, even. Noodle width matters. Now, that's a hashtag. A sweet broth isn't bad at all. Yeah. I think you can also just decide for your own palate whether you want it a bit more sweet or not. Yeah, FCB, you've had it right in Vietnam even. Very good. Ooh, yum. So Goat Farmer prefers a bit spicy and not too sweet. Yeah, you can doctor it up to whatever you feel. And you will only overspice it once in your life, and you'll be like, I'll never do that again. Girthy noodles. Yeah, what is the weekend? I'm not sure either. Okay, so they say pho likely evolved from similar noodle dishes. The modern form of pho that we know now emerged between 1900 and 1907 in northern Vietnam. Oh, this is a cool one. Pho was originally sold at dawn and dusk by itinerant street vendors who shouldered mobile kitchens on carrying poles. What? From the 2 poles hung 2 wooden cabinets. One housed the cauldron over the wood fire, and the other one stored the noodles, spices, cookware, and space to prepare the bowl of pho. The heavy sort of like street food vendor was always shouldered by men. They kept their heads warm with distinctive disheveled felt hats called mu pho. Cool. Are you imagining this as I'm describing it? Because I am. And that is pretty heckin' amazing. How far we have come creating food and being able to cook with different pieces of equipment. Hi, Costa-Rama. How are you? I think you should be able to eat whatever you want for breakfast. I think you should be able to eat whatever you want at any given time of the day, Nike. It's a pretty young national dish, right? Yeah, like the Mad Max movie. Looks pretty badass. Okay. I think we got a good idea of the history behind the dish. I'm gonna pop up Matty's vid and we'll watch it together. I'll kind of create my prep list for the day as we go through it. We can all have some laughs here. And then we'll get into it. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna shut off my music. We're gonna do desktop video watch. I'm still here. Hello. Perfect. And then all I gotta do, switch this to this. Winning. Okay, away we go. I'm gonna turn my mic down just so I don't talk over Matty. So you let me know where you think it's good. Wait, do I see music still playing? Or is that just on my OBS? Okay, something must be up with the mixer. Now it should be good, right? Right. Thanks, Cookie. Okay, let's do this. And may I also say, so recipe originally October 2nd, so 'tis the time of year, but 2019. So last year, and this was his first episode for his Just a Dash series that he does on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna hit this. We got 13 minutes to go. Let's see if we can bring this dish to life. And then let me know how the audio is for Matty too.
This is the nicest about pie. It just bubbles and boils away. It is my favorite broth of the Bone Broth Brigade.
Thanks for the follow, Paige.
I'm Matty Matheson.
It's muted?
It's just a dash.
I think we messed this up. I'll go even higher. I'm restarting it.
This is the nicest thing about pho. It just bubbles and boils away. It is my favorite broth of the Bone Broth Brigade. I'm Matty Matheson, and this is just a dash. Ow! My. I'm back. We're going to Fall World. Jump in your goddamn boat. Get a paddle. We're fucking going to Vietnam. Master Rank continuously inspires me. And the first time that I ever had pho was me, a young cook, malnourished on drugs. I don't know what's happening. Master Rang came and helped me. I was so hungover one day, and he was like,
Fat boy, come here. Have some juice.
and I went to him and suckled his Vietnam tit. I was brought back to life from his pho. Look at me now. We all start somewhere. Today on Just a Dash, I'm doing a tribute. I am making the original Oxtail pho. It is pho, not pho. Come with me on the voyage. Remember, always stay on the boat. Let's go through it. Shall we go through how to make the pho? We're starting with an empty pot, bone marrow. You can find bone marrow at any butcher shop, hopefully. This is veal bones. This is like the shin of a veal. There's fatty little pieces of tendon attached to the bone, and that's really nice. Brisket. This is a giant brisket, and we are gonna use some of the fatty bits. So I'm literally just gonna cut off a big fatty piece like that. Look at all that connectiveness, all that fat, all that meat. That is gonna make for amazing pho.
We've built more benefits into Pro Extra, the Home Depot loyalty program built for pros. Members save time, save money, and get rewarded with Home Depot gift cards. You also get time-saving.
Put that into the pot. I'm gonna save this for later, okay? Now, this is literally a tail of an ox. This is the tail. This goes on to the butt. This is super amazing. This has got like a little weird tendon holding onto it. You could, oh my God, that's so sketchy. That is nice. That means you got a really good oxtail right there if it comes with like little piece of sketchy tendon, looks like worms. So you can kind of cut in between the vertebrae and you just take the bone, put it in there, and you kind of try to find in between the vertebrae, and you can cut little pieces of the tail. I'm just gonna use that much, because once again, you don't need a lot to make a powerful pho. So we're gonna add cold water, and we want just enough to cover the meat. So if you were to take a piece of meat and put it into boiling water, it seals everything in. So starting with cold water, as this warms up, it's gonna gently warm all the meat, and it's gonna extrude all of the scum. And the reason I'm not putting the vegetables in right now is because the scum, when it comes up, it's gonna coat all the vegetables, all the seasoning, all that stuff. And we don't skim scum lightly here. I take it very serious. So you wanna get all that debris, looks like little clouds. You take all the clouds away, and then those clouds, the scum, reveal a beautiful broth. So you know in your life, you get kind of cloudy sometimes, you just gotta skim your own scum. Then all of a sudden, what reveals itself is a beautiful you. Ripple love. And we are gonna let this simmer as low as we can for 12 hours, okay? You sit there and stare into that fucking soup for 12 hours? Let me tell you something, you're gonna fucking know who you are. Who am I? Who am I? By the end of it, I still won't know. That's the saddest part. Still won't know. Still won't know until the Reaper comes to take you away. Go to heaven with all the angels. Can't wait to go to heaven. Heaven's the best. Do you guys like heaven? So we simmer for 12 hours. Then, the greatest moment of your life is now. Vegetables. I'm gonna quarter the onion. Put it into the stock. Yeah. We're gonna take some ginger. I'm not even gonna peel it. I'm gonna just cut it into 3 pieces. You just need about a good knob's worth. Put the ginger in. I'm gonna take 1 clove of garlic, just cut that in half. 1 cinnamon stick. Maybe just break it in half. We're gonna add some coriander seeds. About 1 tablespoon. Star anise. A little pinch of cloves. 1 stalk of lemongrass. That is it. And now, once again, 12 hours. 12 hours is a long fucking time. It is a time for me to contemplate life. I think about the clouds of scum. I think about the bean sprouts I hate so much. I really don't like the bean sprouts. I don't get it. That's just me. There's something I could do. We're gonna make something right now. Whenever you get pho, you get a little plate of all your garnishes. But a lot of places in Vietnam literally just have this container of like sliced garlic and sliced chili peppers and just vinegar. And you add that vinegar to your pho, and it just gives it a little acidicness. It's gonna get spicy, it's gonna get garlicky. And just take a little tablespoon of this, throw this in your little pho. Even just like right away, taste this. Yeah! Instant. It's fucking spicy. Instantly, that's fucking spicy. It's been 12 fucking hours, Ben? Ben said, camera B says it's fucking been 12 hours! Boys. So spicy, that is still just fucking me up. Look at that brisket. Ooh, fatty, beautiful brisket. Look at this bone marrow. All this tendon, so beautiful. We're gonna use all of this tendon. Oh, look at the, Look at that oxtail. That is beautiful. Right there, there's nothing more beautiful than an oxtail coming out of a fucking boil. Look at this one. Ooh, that one's even better. The bone is just, it's holding on. The meat is so tender and beautiful. Look at that little tendon. Ooh. There's nothing better than pieces of tendon. Any shape, any size. I'm a tendon, I'm a tendon guy. Oh, here's the big, lot of tail in here. Kind of more tail than we started with. This broth, 24-hour bone broth, is fucking heaven on earth. The smell, the cinnamon, the star anise, the clove. Pho is literally, it's a beautiful, beautiful fucking thing, man. So this broth is almost there. What have we not done? Seasoned it at all. So now, 2 dashes of salt in my pho. Okay, now, we're gonna fucking slice up some onion. That's just for the crunch. You want that crunch. We're gonna take our green onions. We're gonna slice our green onions up. Yeah, take some cilantro, stems and all. I love the stems. So we're almost making like a dry onion herb salad. So we got that. That's done. That's a wrap. Yeah. Now, let's get our meats ready. Peel off any of the tendon with your spoon. The tendon's my favorite. Grab any bone marrow out of there. Little ovules, jobules, little morsels. Ooh, this is a big piece. This is the good stuff right here. See, look at that. I'm gonna slice up some of this fatty brisket. Look at that. And that was cooked for 24 hours. Still moist, still beautiful. It's that low simmer. And now, we're just gonna rip all this oxtail meat off. And you can kind of just pull the bones away, and you're kind of left with these shreds of oxtail. And this is what's gonna make the fucking really nice. I'm just gonna throw the noodles into boiling water. Just throw them all in there, fuck it. I want crispy oxtail. This is a dry pan, and we're just gonna leave this oxtail. We're gonna let it get nice and crispy. Woo! I'm just gonna fill my bowl full of the noodles. And now I'm gonna build this up. I'm gonna put in my brisket. Beautiful brisket. A little pile of tendon. Ooh. Look at that piece of crispy, beautiful oxtail. Oh! A little pile of the onion, the green onions. And from there, now we're gonna ladle some broth. That's stupid. What am I doing? We're gonna pour our broth. The ripple is coming together. And finally, just a little spice up your life, a little bit of the garlic and the chili. Little squeeze of some lime. Lots of seeds. Make sure you get lots of seeds in there. We made oxtail pho. It is pho, not pho, okay? Bone broth. It's white hot right now. Yoga pants around the world are screaming for bone broth. Oh, the tendon. That is incredible. This piece of, oh, this is amazing. I love tendon. Oh boy. Look at this. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm going in, boys. I'm going in! Oh. This broth is fucking epic. You motherfuckers out there always putting sriracha, fucking hoisin in the broth, fucking grow up. You eat your pho the way it is. If you want fucking sriracha, you dip. Papa. Mama. It's insane. These noodles maybe could have been cooked a little more. Not gonna lie. But the ripple of love, the ocean that I'm giving, the pot of broth, you guys can make this at home. And that's the biggest thing for me. I want to ripple my pho broth across the world. Grab a boat, Grab a paddle. Fucking go. Just a dash. Number 1. Today's the first time we've done this.
Hey, is that a wrap on Pho? That?
Fucking Michelle walks in the room. Is that a wrap on Pho? Like a fucking Canadian, eh? It's pho. See, this is the problem we have. You're the problem. Ring the bell, share, you comment, you delete it. Maybe just set your computer on fire. It's really up to you, but make sure before you set that computer on fire, you subscribe, okay?
Okay, first thing, check on my mic audio. Chiggity check, we're good. Okay, now music. Music should be good too. Look at that, we're back. We're back. How enjoyable was that though to watch? And I feel like that gave us some good laughs, some good inspiration of, mic could go up a bit. Oh, you're right. Got some good inspiration of what we gotta make today too. Yeah, I can tell you he's fantastic. Have you met him in real life, Goat Farmer? That would be unreal. I heckin' love Matty. At least he's like put Canada on the map a little bit for food. Hi Clemmy, how are you? As well as Mish, I see Lily. Hello Kanara, welcome in. Kanara's straining her broth today too. This looks so good, right? Okay, so things that we need to do today to complete this is, I think the first thing we'll do is strain out the aromatics from the broth. And then to be able to properly pick the meat, we should probably pop all of the meat back into the broth just to lightly heat it up so it's easier to pull off of the bone. So strain aromatics. Heat the meat and pull it. And then we have the rice noodles, which you saw was really, really quick, just into boiling water. That doesn't take more than 5 minutes. So we'll get a package of that. And then we definitely want to have all of our garnishes ready to go before we even start to plate, right? Warm meat pulls, yeah. Yeah, it's a good Sunday so far. Just couldn't be sad around Matty, right? He's just so crazy. And like for someone who is completely sober now in his life, I think that's the best for him. I don't think he needs anything else to be amazing. Okay, rice noodles. We got a bag of bean sprouts. So shouldn't really have to do anything to that. Lime. We have cilantro and scallion or green onion. And yeah, why didn't he put the basil in the recipe, I wonder, Bonk? That must just be him like making it his own. He's crazy about cooking. He would be such a fun chef to work for, I'm sure. Yeah, the like Thai basil or purple basil is so nice in there too. Okay, so bean sprout, lime, cilantro, scallion. I think that's pretty much it, right? Did we want to make a chili oil or something like that? I don't even think that's possible because I don't have oil, so never mind. I'll just put hoisin, even though Matty said no, and sriracha, because I'm pretty sure my brother has both of those. She's ready to roll. Yeah, I'm so ready. So I'm gonna go load up my bin here from all this goodness in the fridge. I will return and we're gonna get into it. This is gonna be so, so good. This smell in here is unreal. Like we can't go another day with this broth. Don't make us, please. And yeah, it's good if you got a cold or flu. All of those spices and aromatics, Bonk, that can't be bad for you. Can't be bad. So much ginger. Like, I feel so good after eating our coconut ginger squash soup yesterday. Oh, we ran out yesterday, Goat Farmer, and I knew, like, I used it all up yesterday because I knew that today I wouldn't really need it for any of the stuff we're doing, and I have a bunch coming in tomorrow on a grocery order. You cook and you don't have oil, but there's also other methods of fat that you can cook with, right? I always keep beef fat or pork fat around, as well as butter. And coconut oil is what we used yesterday. You're Belgian. Don't usually cook so spicy, but you have something alike? Nice. Fighting off the broth chugs, yes. Okay, I'm gonna quickly mute this up. Hang tight, I will return with all of our ingredients we need. Wow, goat's butter? I don't think I've ever tried that. That's probably so wonderful. Does it have a strong flavor? Okay, BRB. Made it, friends, I made it. I was commingling all the goodness. Doggo's like, hello? Hello? Okay, here's all the meats. Rice stick noodles. This was the only width they had available at the store, so there's that. This is from Rando. This is the closest we get for the condiments if we want them. Green onion. Fresh lime, fresh mint, fresh cilantro, bean sprouts, good to go. And then the meat bin. So yeah, while the meat is warming, we can prep all of the condiments there. Just first have to strain all the aromatics out of the broth. Sounds healthy, this soup? Yeah, I guess it's pretty healthy, hey? Yeah, check this out. So we strained all this out yesterday if you were around on stream. There's a lot of goodness in there still. And yeah, it's kind of hard to pick the meat off of the bones when it's this cold. The only thing I won't heat up, this will be much easier to slice, is the 2 big meat chunks of beef. That'll be easier to slice cold and then heat up afterwards. Okay, so my little straining station. I'm gonna go grab my pot out of the dishwasher that I need. And then we're gonna use this fine mesh strainer to catch all of the aromatics that we infused yesterday. Open this up a bit too. Yum. Okay, turn that off for now. Oh my gosh. It's so aromatic. Okay, so this pot is usually pretty good to just pour straight out of without any spillage down the side or anything. And I will say it looks like our broth got much darker and stronger in flavor than Matty's. His looked a little bit like light in color compared to ours, so let's see. Also, cheers to everyone that's finishing up or drinking their coffee still. So nummy. Yeah, Southeast Asian food is about balancing the 5 taste senses. Salty, sweet, bitter, sour, and umami. More color, more flavor, right? That's what I was thinking, diggity dog. It's like, this can't be a bad thing. That's for sure. But we did like twice as long as what he did. He did 24 hours. We actually did 48. Okay, this is risky. How do I want to do this? Will I be able to pour the rest without it going over the strainer? There is quite a bit of this, hey? Shoot. How am I gonna fit the meats in there? I might have to ladle out some of this just to put some room in the pot. Dust, careful, Kate. I push limits. You know this. Guess we'll just call that quits for now. That's all right. I feel okay about that. Just gonna make some room to put this big pot. That is hot. Hot pot. Yeah, like once you add all the meat back in, it'll definitely be more rich Greek. But the broth itself isn't too rich, I would say. Let's use this. Maybe not. Use the other one. Just going to literally take my measuring cup and take some of this out for now. Otherwise, she's gonna get overflowed. It's too risky. And I have not even tasted this yet. Not tasted it. And I think we might strain it one more time after we pick the meat out. I guess we'll see how clear it is. Because it should be a very nice clear broth. Okay, there's that. All I did, just hang my measuring cup off the side of the pot and leave the strainer in there. Okay, now, I spilt a bit of water. Wipe off my induction and I'll bring that up. And we'll pop all the meats in together. Hello. You can also turn it on to get it heating up. So, yeah, it's pretty hard once the fat and the meats have hardened back up. But this is how our oxtail looks You can see all the hard fat around here. We'll let that soften up, and then we'll be able to pull all these little meaty morsels off. There's not really much on my marrow bones left, where you saw Matty was like cutting stuff off of the outside. Not the case with the ones I have. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Mostly get the oxtail in here first. And then we can slice up the other pieces of beef, because those are nice and cold. Whoa. Look at this. It's like gelatinized. I don't even know what this is, but I'm guessing part of the oxtail. There in Belgium, some farmers start a little soup when autumn starts and don't turn it off until spring gets warm. Oh man, I can just imagine. That can't be bad for you. Okay, that's all of the oxtail chunks, I'm pretty sure. So now that we have that pot filled, I'm just gonna go quickly rinse my hands, take the induction off, and I'll just watch for it to come up to a simmer. And then while it's going, we'll work on dicing up our other meats for the garnish. Yeah, I can imagine. That's what we talked about too. It's like, maybe we'll just keep a broth going all winter. So cozy, always smells good. Okay, I just gotta pop my hair back. We're cooking now. Okay. Man, the smell should not even be allowed. It's beautiful. Thanks, Diggity Dog. Okay, let's open this up. You can cross one thing off of the list already, strain our aromatics, and then I post this up here. Grab a cutting board. We'll do it like that for our meats. We should come a bit closer again. There we go. Imagine this smell all winter long. I actually can't. It would be unfair to our own self. Okay, so this chunk. So funny, when I was showing off this chunk of beef yesterday, I squeezed it and the meat just like flew off. Or like fell off. I was like, okay. And then look at this, where I took the meat out of. Look at all that gelée. And just like scoop that up and put it back in the pot. That's how you know you made a really good bone broth. It is too good of a smell. Yeah. Meat jelly. Okay, so to cut this across the grain, just looking at this, I think it's actually, we can do it this way. If you put it on the flat side. Let me see how it looks when I slice this. No, that's actually with the grain. So what I'm gonna do, we can tell by, it looks like the meat grains are all running up and down when we look at this. So all I'm gonna do just to make it more like bite size is I think I'll cut this into 3. Yeah, look at that. Looks very similar to how Matty's brisket turned out, right? And this wasn't brisket. So it went up in price for us here. And yeah, if you're unsure of which way the meat grain is running, I actually think that was proper how we did it. Or there's a couple different muscles. That could be the case as well. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep going that way then. The dog right now, you should see her. Man, that slice. Whoa. It's barely even staying together. So tender that the grains are hiding. It's true. I know you're a ramen dog, but are you also a pho dog? Oh, okay. This is new. So tender, I can't even slice it. But like, look at that fatty piece right there. Yes, please, once that warms up. So why don't I grab a small bowl or a plate to start putting all these garnish items on. I think I might just pop it in the bowl here. Try and keep this all together as well. Yum. Gelée. What if I slice it this way? Yeah, nice. FCB, a lot off topic, but have you ever made English muffins? I have. Yeah, I have. I really enjoy making English muffins, and the recipe I always use is from King Arthur Baking. It is so satisfying. It does take a little bit of work, but they turn out unreal, and like the rise on them is like a solid 2 inches tall. It's really fun. Does it make a difference in taste if you cut the meat a certain way? Not really in taste, but in texture, Clemmy. So see how this meat grain is running like this way, up and down, and then if we turn it the other way, it kind of looks like the opposite. So you always want to cut opposite the grain. Otherwise, if we cut this like straight up and down, it would be very chewy and stringy. Not very enjoyable to eat. And I don't know why my nose is running here. I'm gonna have to go blow it in a sec. Back to that, hey? I haven't had nose run in a long time. And then for our like tendon people or cartilage people, there's a good layer of that on this. So I'll leave that on. And those fatty pieces are amazing. Oh my gosh, there's still one more entire meat chunk to use. Take off some of that gelée again. You're welcome, Clemmy. Hello, Eric. You've never seen this made? So far, I think we killed it. We watched the Matty video together this morning, and I think we got a great idea of what we need to do to finish this off. Right now, we're just cutting up our beef that we simmered into nice chunks to put into the soup. And our oxtail is warming up in the broth so we can pick the meat off of that. 100 out of 10? Greek, thank you. Looks like tough meat. It was tough. It was tough at one point. Now, definitely not. Like you can see as I'm slicing it, it's pretty much falling apart. It was simmered overnight. And that's why it's really important that you simmer it and don't boil it, because then it gets dry if you get it too high of a heat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Madame, thank you so much. 10 months in a row you've been with us already? Almost a year? Wow. How is your Sunday going? Look at this chunk. Like all fat, but I can't deny someone of that. If they want it more rich, they can take that piece. We're finally in the double digits of friendmanship. Yeah, we're past our Twitch food baby now. Things are getting much more serious. Are you ready, madame? Just got out of bed, so it's going. Nice. That's allowed for a Sunday or a weekend. Okay, gonna move that over for now. Just gonna leave this stuff here, I think, because we're waiting on the oxtail anyways, and honestly, it's probably almost good. Why don't I have a quick check with a pair of tongs? Yes. We'll let that sit for a moment. Yum. Your face would be covered in meat trails. One thing about like being a chef is we are taught to never put our hand to our mouth if we're cooking, because of cross-contamination. That's how you can make people sick. So yeah, I'm really good with like my self-control as I'm prepping stuff. I'm not munching on it as much as I want to be. I'm being good. Yeah, not for the weak of heart. Discipline. Kind of crazy, right? Okay, I'm just gonna try and strain some of these other meaty bits out of here. Try and clarify this a bit. I can't wait to taste this, really. So probably don't need the knife, and we got an ish. Just let me pour some of this back in the pot. It's running. She's running. Just don't want to make a mess on my board. Drain the juices. There we go. Hey, Sam. Hyrule, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, I think I'll get a separate bowl for the oxtail stuff, just so we can clearly see the difference. I got dirty hands though, so I'm gonna actually go rinse my hand, rinse my knife off, and I will return. Yeah, so beef marrow bones, 1 pack of this oxtail, and then those couple chunks of beef, Eric, simmered overnight the first night all together. And we strained that out. And then yesterday on stream, we did all the other aromatics. And then we strained that out already this morning. Just gonna mute for 1 second. I'm gonna blow my nose. Okie day. Just gonna dry off my knife. Ginger, garlic, onion, cinnamon stick, star anise, coriander. I think that was it, Greek. Need a case for the new tablet. Anyone have any favorites? I think the only like case we use, Eric, is the one from Apple. Just the OG one that turns into like the stand at the same time. Pop this in front. Maybe over to the side even. Yum. Insane. Ready? Ready for this? Oh, hello. That is so much goodness. Like this chunk of meat right here, perfection. The fats, I want to leave all of this in. Like make a little pile of the fatty bits. It is still a bit warm, so just careful as you pull this. Interesting. Look at this. It's like a white meat. We know what that is, right? If anyone's ever seen the spine or how the spine of an animal looks. Makes sense being on the tail. Wow. This gotta be like better than short rib. That's how I would describe this. Better than short rib. Bone Broth Brigade, welcome in. I'm using no effort right now for this, if you're wondering. And am I salivating? Big time. Big time salivation going on right now. Yeah, welcome to the meat portion of the stream. Yesterday we made vegan soup. Today we have this. You can say we dabble in making all sorts of different stuff on here. You'd be snacking. It's hard not to. It's hard not to right now, Dust. Because like once you start, that's also the hard part, is like once you know the taste, then you don't want to stop snacking. So instead of torturing myself, I just won't try it yet. I'll just wait. Sorry to any vegetarians or vegans. Well, we often get told by our vegetarian and vegan viewers that they don't actually mind the way that we cook the meats on stream, Greek, because we always treat it with such care and respect. Unctuous. You had to look up the big word of the day, Dust. I like it. I was like, I wonder if he's gonna know what that means. Familiar with barbacoa? Uh-huh. Yeah, beef cheek. Almost as unctuous as the oxtail. It's not quite as fatty, but the beef cheek I also find is like very beefy in flavor from all of the times that I've worked with it. It's like in your face beef, which a lot of people love, right? It's pretty oily. Yeah, I guess it depends on the cow that you get it from, right? Okay, so there's our oxtail and some fatty bits, if you want that in your life. Holy smokes. That, plus that. I'm just gonna put these to the side with the marrow bones. And then we can get rid of this cutting board. I will be right back, do a quick little hand wash up. Yeah, very gamey almost. Yeah, almost going away from like beef and more gamey. You're right, Greek. Okay, so we'll just put that to the side. Just commingling some of my other stuff here real quick. And we'll take a peek at our list and see how we're doing. I think we are laughing, honestly. Yeah, melt in your mouth, right? So heat the meat and pull it or chop it up. Done and done. Next up, I don't think I'll do the rice noodles until right before we plan to serve.
I don't know that.
Okay. I don't think we'll do the rice noodles before we plan to serve. Just that way they won't get stuck together. So we'll just put this to the side, quickly do our garnishes. We will taste the broth together and decide if it needs some seasoning, which I'm 100% sure it will. And then I'm just gonna do a quick wipe here of all the fatty bits. And hi Maya, how are you? If you've had moose meat, it's like OTT beefy flavor, really delicious. I've not had a ton of moose meat. No, I've not been blessed with that in my life. One day though, for sure. Mint, cilantro. We got a bunch of green onions to chop up. Lime. And then our bean sprouts, I mean, it's as simple as opening up the bag and saying, hey, I got bean sprouts. I don't think that we have to cut it up any smaller or anything like that, so we can really cross that off right now. Why don't we do the lime next, because that's like the cleanest thing to deal with. How do I want to cut this lime? Has anyone ever gotten a lime where it's like they cut it on the side like this? It looks really nice for like photo purposes and squeezes so nice. So I'm gonna do a couple like that just for taking our photo. And I mean, what? From there, maybe we can cut it on an angle. I'm gonna cut it in half and then in half again. That. Do we need the other lime? I'm not entirely sure right now. Grab a plate to start arranging all of this on as well. Yeah, nice. That is the best, right? Is knowing someone that hunts on the rig and if they share their bounties with you. That, we'll leave that to the side for now. Maybe we won't need it. Yeah, they really shouldn't. Well, at least these limes don't have seeds. I think the calamansi limes, if you've ever heard of those, they're really small. Those might have seeds. My herbs, good thing we're using them today because they're starting to get a touch floppy. And then this is, I don't know if anyone ever goes out for pho, but usually they just like chop the bottom stem off and put huge sprigs of herbs on the plate. So you can choose how much or how little you want to garnish with. I like that. I'm gonna take out some of the drier pieces. Pick off any brown bits. So we'll lay that out. Like that. Next one, cilantro. Matty guided us to use the stems as well, so we'll do that. And the cilantro is usually taken down a touch. So once again, let's just trim off like the bottom 1 inch. or so. And then cut that a little bit shorter. And then as we get closer to the leaves, we can go a bit thicker like that. I love sprouts too. Yeah, do a nice little pile on the plate like this. Yum. And I know that he did a thinly sliced onion, but I think instead I'll do a thinly sliced shallot. Will be really nice to go with the green onion. Let's get into this. Show you how to take care of all of these. Just the green onions at the store this week were so sad. I went to the store twice and they looked the same both days. I was like, man, I had high hopes that they would look better. So all I'm gonna do is cut off the root end to start. And then we're gonna pick off anything that we don't want to use before we start slicing this up. Oh, nice Greek. You're gonna make a broth from the moose bones? That sounds so good. So any dry pieces of the green onion, we pick off. Any brown bits, definitely. And then we always watch for dirt as well. So all of this work over the last 2 days, and this comes together pretty quickly, I would say. And I would just assume that like most restaurants that serve pho probably have their broth going all of the time. It probably never stops simmering. Sweet. Okay, sounds good, Mina. Thanks for letting me know. Pumped that I'm able to be on the big screen, and hope you have fun games. The broth never stops, Bonk. They just add to it, right? And probably the same for like any sort of noodle soup restaurant, ramen as well. Okay, everything's picked. Now we can slice. My brother and Sam are switching over the winter tires onto the car right now. It's time. Winter is coming. Yeah, I bet, right? It always tastes so complex. It'd be hard to recreate the same thing for yourself. It's like you think of all the aromatics we put in the broth, and then all of these garnishes are pretty strong in flavor too, right? So very, very complex in flavor. I will do my best to describe it when we taste it here right away. You need new tires, Eric? Probably shouldn't have bought a tablet. Hey, you decided the priorities. We lucked out finding these tires. Insane deal. On Facebook Marketplace. I'm pretty sure that's where Sam found them. Couldn't pass it up, and now we're winter ready. Yeah. Watch some food videos of places in Southeast Asia. The pots are going all the time. Okay, move over, cilantro. So colorful. Okay, I want to go grab the one shallot so I can thinly slice that. Sam maybe won't use it, but I know probably Rando and I will, as well as Finn. Hold tight. I will be right back. We're almost there. Look at that plate of green. Drive the tablet to work. There you go. Okay, be right back. Shallot acquired. Okay, get back on your beddy. Get back on your beddy. Good girl. Get back on there. She's like, I can't get on the bed. It smells too good. No, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Buffalo Safari, how are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna slice this in half so it's easier to peel. And then we'll do thinly sliced like half moons. Some of the cases are crazy. There's one that could probably use as a frisbee. Oh my gosh. That would get you to work. Now you're thinking, Eric. Is there any cases with wheels that are powered? Okay, really, really thin slices of this. As thin as you can do with your knife skills. Use your index finger to guide the knife blade. Go slow and controlled. Nice. The Wally tablet case. Oh wow, you just got your first ever cast iron pan? I am pumped for you. Were you saving up for a bit for it? Or you just did a new investment for yourself? Cast iron pans are my favorite to cook with. Or like an enamel sort of coated pot. Yeah, that looks yummy. I really like this, how this plate looks now. The only thing we didn't put on was the bean sprouts, but like I said, those are in the bag. Don't have to do too much to those. Okay, wipe my knife again. Ooh, nice bonk. Your local to you place does fried shallot? I would love that. Would really, really like that. $25 type of cast iron. So it's probably just really simple, just the cast iron pan that you have to seal. And yeah, they become heirlooms. Exactly. I mean, I don't know who I'll pass them down to. Maybe some of your guys' kids. Okay, lime, cilantro, scallion. We got the hoisin, sriracha, just the rice noodles now. And I think honestly, the easiest way to hydrate rice noodles, I'm just gonna fill up our kettle with water and we're just gonna pour boiling water over top. I think that'll be the easiest for sure. Yeah, softens in the broth bonk, but also adds texture, flavor. A nice sharp knife helps tons to be able to thinly slice, for sure. For sure. Okay, that's that. Yeah, gonna fill up my kettle. BRB. And then I guess we gotta get ready for plate up. We might have to do a couple renditions in the kettle. Might have to do twice. We'll see. Hi, Daff. How are you? Okay, that's on. And then we got to put the rice noodles into a container that will hold the boiling water. That's gonna soften them. So I usually do this big bowl. Hey, a wild Colin, hello.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, this pho today, we watched the Matty video this morning. Got very excited for the snacks. We started salivating, I still am. We're almost there. And hi, Lauren. Lauren, we got a Twitch food baby. What's its name? We'll have Luna as the dog and Tuna as our child. Hello, this is Luna and Tuna. I hope you're doing good, Lauren. Daff literally got told, get off my lawn when walking your dogs yesterday. Wow, that's aggressive. That's aggressive. Here she is. Rice stick noodles. Yeah, Luna and Tuna. I'm dead. They say soak rice stick noodles in water until soft or add to boiling water. Remove when soft and drain. Okay. We can use it for pad thai, salad, stir fry, or like we're doing today, soups. So it's just rice flour and water. And I'm not really sure how many portions we're gonna get from this, but lots. I'm gonna assume lots. Luna and Muna. Was trying to go for like an actual name. Unless Muna is a character of something that I don't know. Interesting, Daff. You know what my suggestion is? Just don't walk by that house anymore. Sounds like they got a lot of bad vibes going on. Should be like a 10-minute cook time? No, not even Greek. Like I said, so we're just gonna put these in the bowl. Maybe I'll separate it into 2 packages first, just to see how it explodes up. And yeah, we're just gonna pour the boiling water over and it'll soften right up. And then I think while I'm waiting on our kettle, I'm gonna try and strain more of our broth again. Simmering here beside me. And then we can taste it finally. Yeah, with the oxtail in this pho, it's not a very inexpensive broth to make, but I think that it added a lot of amazing flavor. So sometimes spending a bit more will give you a better end result, right? Or I think a lot of the times doing that. I was gonna say, it sounds like a no win ever. What? The dude followed you walking back to your house? That's gonna be a sheesh from me. Be careful. Okay, and we'll grab a couple of bowls, or maybe we have enough even. Do these 2 big bowls for Sam and Randall. Pho on a Sunday, perfect for a hangover. He followed you until you turned and yelled at him. Maybe he was like on something. That doesn't sound like a very normal experience. Okay, we're boiling. We're boiling. Ready? The Hypno Bowls, exactly. We're just gonna do a nice little pour over of our noodles. Yes, they are the gray chairs from Costco that everyone went crazy over. And they're worth the hype, honestly. They're really comfortable. Comfortable for lounging. Not good for like working or anything like that. Okay, well that was a good amount of water. Grab a small pair of tongs and we'll see how that like almost instantly softens it up, right? Check it out. So I'm gonna fill up the kettle again and then I'll do one more. And then maybe these will be softened up by the time I come back, and then we can do the next batch to soften up. This is the easiest way to prep these noodles. Don't even fool around with getting a pot on the stove. Nice. You sent your parents at 8 a.m. during senior hour to get them. That is a pro tip. More water. And the other thing I like about this kettle is it doesn't take long at all to heat up. What was that, 2 minutes? What? He was a cop even? This is where we pull out the phrase, not all cops. But then we hear stuff like this and it's like, whoa, we're not gonna get into it. Let's focus on the pho. I mean, bottom line, DAF is okay, but that's a crazy experience. I was gonna say, get him on film. Then maybe he won't do that. Okay, this stuff. Get rid of my big bus bin here. We have, okay, so we ended up not having hoisin sauce. We had oyster sauce. So I said, well, if that's what you want, then that's what we can use. Bring this here. We got our extra lime in that. Boom. I think I can strain the rest of the broth into this pot now too. You're good, puppers. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there, pup. You're being so good. Yeah, good girl. Do you want to sit in this behind? This is a good spot. Come on. Okay, let's see. Wow. They really softened up, hey? Pro. Oh, I was gonna try that one. Give me one noodle. Yeah, I think we can use the other kettle of boiling water in there even. It'll be good. Hey, Scoots, you had a Costco run and a Puppers training. How's Puppers doing? Are they picking up on stuff pretty quickly? Okay, I'm also gonna take a really quick bathroom break while I'm waiting for the kettle. Backity back. Daff, you may make some seafood soup. It's the right day for it. You already made a veg stock. Yum. Yummo. Bonk, use the command. It might be a mod only. How to jump, get the food, untie the shoes in 25 seconds flat? What? That's adorable. I love puppers. Now you're making me want a puppers. Okay, so I guess we can spread out the next noodles in here. And then everything should be perfect for us to pour the next boiling water in. And I don't think the bottom ones will get overcooked. You can also see how much liquid they have soaked up that whole time too. Okay, it worked. It worked, Greek. It must have been on a cool down then. We're bubbling. Is that like a 1 minute boil? That's so fast. The noodle transformation. Boom. Oh, and that sneaky stick. Okay. Awesome, awesome. I'm pouring the rest of this big pot. I think we'll be able to fit the rest. Yeah, good thoughts. Good food thoughts. Still couldn't fit it all. That's okay. It's okay. One thing I was thinking, just to heat up the meats, might go grab the noodle basket really quick and then just drop the meat in the noodle basket into the broth. Hey, Trev. Yeah, I have never made it before myself. And so far, this has been absolutely amazing today. Insane. Okay, that worked great as well for the noodlers. Typed all through the drool. Yeah, we're vibing. Okay, I'm gonna go get the noodle basket so that we're able to properly heat these glorious pieces of meat through. I will return. And then it's time. We're gonna taste the broth. We'll drop the meats and we'll start assembling the noodles in the bowls. This is exciting. Yes, it is. Yeah, so we did, I mean, Matty did a 12-hour at a time. So 12 hours with the meat bones and then 12 hours with the aromatics, but we took it farther. We did a full 48 hours. It's easier that way. Yeah, we used the oxtail for the broth. So this was the beef chunks that we used. And then our package of oxtail, we separated from the like meaty morsels to more of the like fatty, unctuous bits. Insanity, Daff. I'm so excited. Okay, I will be right back again. And look, last thing on the list, rice noodles. Just got to get the noodle basket. And yeah, we went a whole new level. Exactly, Greek. Okay. The boys are just filling up the winter tires on the car and they'll be right over. Got our noodle basket for heating up our meats. And then why don't I, so now that we're done with all this stuff, would like to show you the broth kind of as we taste it and season together. So I'm just gonna move some of this off of the board for now. This plate looks glorious. I was gonna say, Greek, been hearing that the weather on the West Coast has been pretty terrible these last few weeks. I'm sorry about that. Sorry to hear. Because, yeah, where we've been is just so nice. Oh, for sure, Trev. I would think that would work, no problem. Do it a bit differently. Just pop everything in the slow cooker and do it that way. You never know if you don't try. Okay, just gonna stop that for now. There's a bit of a fat layer on here. Just gonna bring this over for myself. Grab this ladle. Yeah. That is something I still want to do, Greek, is like go up to Tofino on the island during storm season and watch the waves just crash. Yeah, fall is here, warm for 3 days and then cold and windy, back and forth. Ugh. Takes a bit to get adjusted to, right? Like the finest layer of fat and impurities on top that we'll get rid of. Clarify the broth a bit. Nice. That actually worked really great. Okay, a little bit more and then we should be good. Taste it up. Bonk, I needed to ask, is the GF doing a little bit better? Is she starting to get on the mend slowly? So yeah, looks like I'm basically just skimming the stock off, but if I hold this up, you can clearly see the distinct layer between the fat and the broth. So that's why I was slowly ladling it. Okay, I'm gonna take a spoon now and try this. Do not burn your tongue on the first taste, because then you're not gonna be able to properly season. So if you burn your taste buds, then you can't taste stuff properly. Oh, kitchen twine. Cool, Maya. Never thought of that. 4 inches of snow or rain? Oh no, Scooter got bronchitis too? Clear out the clouds dust. Right, Bonk. Interesting. Ooh, 4 inches of snow, please. No. And there's still a good layer of fat on here. Get through the fat. That's pretty nice and clear, though. That's why I said I felt like our color was a lot deeper and darker than Matty's. You could always just skim the fat, and then usually I put the container into the fridge and let it harden up, and then I just pick the fat off, and then you can cook with chicken fat. Mmm. It actually tastes so perfect already. I can't wait until we add salt, because it's going to make it taste even better. You get the star anise, the cinnamon, garlic, onion, coriander. It's so beefy and like has so much body. I'm dead. Lauren, you had a fried haddock wrap with squash soup for lunch. Yummies. She would. Look at her. She's been waiting for 2 days, Bonk, for a sample. That's a good reminder right now before I add any salt. A small scoop. She's been working hard too, you know.
Hey everyone.
We'll put that over to cool.
This is finally leaving my house. I can stop smelling it.
Okay, come over with some salt. So I haven't added any salt during this process at all. So it will take a fair amount. Let's start with, if you see this pinch, it's like a teaspoon. If we were measuring 1 and 2 to start. Let's mix that up. Oh yeah, she'll be licking her chops for sure. Oh, there was still a meaty morsel in here. Your bottle's just clean in the dishwasher.
Is it clean in the dishwasher?
Yep. I just did a quick 1 hour this morning. Okay, so let's see how that flavor changes with just a bit of salt. I'm gonna just scoop from the ladle so I don't have to keep getting new tasting spoons. Another thing they teach you in culinary school. Greek, they were just putting on the winter tires on the car. Rando and Sammy, they just finished up, and I said, boys, it's almost lunchtime, so when you all are ready, come on in. We'll create some soup. More salt. Probably the same amount again. And it's interesting how the salt is gonna bring out like the sweeter flavors too. Because now I'm starting to taste more of the sweet onion. Because yeah, Sammy's got to go back to work in the morning, and it's been very cool in the mornings and frosty. So we got to get him driving safe to work now.
Yeah, we're just in the shop.
Okay, one
Winter
more.
tire mode engaged.
Yeah, the star anise and the cinnamon have like kind of a sweet flavor too, right? I do have MSG. I was thinking about it, Buffalo.
Do it. MSG.
Just a pinch of the MSG and that will be perfect.
Yep.
Please try this when I go, unless you want to grab the MSG, but I don't think you know where it is.
No idea where it is.
Okay. Try that when I go. I will be right back. Bring some MSG back, and then I think it's literally perfect. Yeah, just a pinch. Okay. Licking her lips. What did you think? That is the worst response ever.
It needs what you're doing first. I like all the flavors in it.
Like, if a chef or anyone asks you, how does this taste? Never just respond with, it's good. Like, cool, okay. I have a lot to go off of here. Okay, you got the Sammy head nod of approval. That's better. That's better. I know, yeah. Where's the excitement? Where's your life? Please. Yeah, we want specifics. It's like when I was at my culinary school and they were tasting my dish. He's like, yeah, I had some of that. It was good. And I was like, yeah, what else? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, wow, I am not even going any further. Do we have a dealer? No, it just came in a plastic bag and I put this in it. Giggles and runs away. Classic Torino. I could see that too. Yeah, when Maya knows, you know it's good when he reaches for it a second time. Mish just sliding this in here. 104 legitimate complaints. A bit more still. Just a little bit. Probably like that. Monosodium glutamate, a naturally occurring... I forget the word. Not lactose. Sodium, a naturally occurring sodium in many things that people don't know. Can you add too much? Oh, for sure, Mish. For sure. A naturally occurring thing. That? It's a compound, okay. I'd like a 1/4 ounce of marijuana and a brick of MSG, please. You can taste everything in it now, you said?
Yeah. Get the star anise, the garlic, and ginger. Everything. That's really good.
Oh, ho, ho. And you're right, Bonk. It's like starting to coat the palate. Fat lips is what I call it. Okay, so now that we've tasted it and we're happy, let's move this stuff off. I'm going to bring the pot back over to the induction, heat up the broth again.
Still got time then?
Very short amount of time. We're just putting the noodles in the bowl and dunking the meat in there. That's it. Are you gonna just go move the car? Sammy's going to take it for a drive really quick even. Don't go too long, please. Yep. Oh, people are, yeah, still afraid of it, Trev. You're right. So why don't I pop this just in a bowl, I think. Our noodle basket. If we bring the meats up here, we can start layering them in, and then it's just a quick drop of this basket into the hot broth for a few minutes until it softens and heats through, and then it goes into the bowl. Yeah, the Subi goes brr. Subi brew? Yeah, the retorque, exactly. Okay. Handful of that. Handful of this. I'm gonna try and build like 2 portions at a time in this noodle basket. Like this chunk right here is just speaking to me. I've picked it up so many times already. I'm still eyeing it up. That. So we should be able to get 2 portions in the noodle basket. I'm gonna move that over. I think I'll just go right for the dip here, or the dunk. Holy smokes. This should not be allowed. Okay, now we'll grab all of our soup bowls, start putting the noodles in the bottom. And then we do finish with just taking everything off of the garnish plate and doctoring it up ourselves. Yeah, dunk, swish, done. All of the view here. That. This little one's for me. The baby bowl. Hypnotized cookie. Yeah, these bowls are crazy, hey? So much noodles here, too. Where's Sammy? He literally just left, Lenny. Literally just left. Just taking the car for a test drive. We got the winter tires on there. More nudes. He's your fave. Okay, noted. He needs his own show. There's sometimes where he streams on his channel. Oh, they slipped out our noodlers here. Winter tires are a must in Alberta, almost like all of Canada, really. We could get away with not having them on the island, though. It only snowed like once per winter. And then everyone just takes a snow day because no one knows how to drive anyways. Okay. That. Oh, maybe actually I'll leave that. I'll leave that spot here. We'll bring this back. Oh my gosh. Now that the meat has softened up, look at this. Look at the like sheen on it. Do I pick it out with my hands? I really don't want to like break it up too much. Oh my goodness. Kind of layer it out a bit. And then all of the unctuous oxtail pieces. Just pick that as well. Nice pile. Hello, baby bubs. How are you, my dude? How was the weekend? Yeah, this is insane right now. I got no words, really. Okay, so I'm gonna drop my meats next. Just hang on a sec. Boys were working hard, so I thought we would feed them first today. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pardon me?
Just do those two bowls up.
I need a little bit more information about what's going on. Okay. Thanks, that's all you have to say.
Yep.
Just not feeling good?
I've smelt it for 2 days and I really just don't want to eat it.
Okay, that's... I don't even know what to say to that right now. That's unfortunate.
I don't. It's okay.
Who wants Sam's bowl?
So for this case.
And hi, Sets and Reps. Thank you very much for the raid. You're coming in at the perfect time. We are just assembling our pho. Yep, cooking for my bro today. Oh, we're not on the island anymore. And also, who's that for? How was your stream? What did you get up to? Welcome, welcome. My name is Kate, and I've been cooking on Twitch for almost 4 years now, coming up in January. And we are cooking a Matty Matheson meal, if anyone knows of that Canadian chef, an oxtail pho soup, Vietnamese pho soup. So now we're gonna ladle in the broth and we can doctor it up however we want. Timed out for the 5 times. Nice, Bonk. Nice. You love it? Sweet. It's okay, Sama. I'm just shocked. We've come this far.
I understand that.
Maybe that's why I felt gross yesterday.
Could be.
Smelling too much meat broth. Nice. Just kind of have the broth peeking through. Too many meat turbs. Yeah, send help.
Not the end of the world.
I honestly don't care. Don't have to feel bad at all. He just feels bad because he wants to eat it. It'll come around. I'm not worried. Okay, so here's our 2 bowls. And then earlier on stream, we prepped up our garnish plate. So green onions, thinly sliced shallot, some lime wedges, fresh mint sprigs, and then chopped cilantro. Oh yeah, Daff was getting followed yesterday on his dog walk by a cop neighbor that said, "Keep your dogs off my lawn." And so Daff is scared now. Is Bran in here? I think. I don't know what he likes in it though, so.
I don't think he would tell you if it was.
So I'm just gonna do mine up. A couple of thinly sliced shallots here. Sprinkle of the green onion over there too. Get some of the cilantro stems and leaves.
He's here.
And then just pick whatever mint you want.
He has arrived for his bowl of pho.
Sweet. Do you like all of the things, Bran? Okay. Yeah, you're not a cilantro hater. Okay.
Another raid?
Please. Fanteasy 84. Does everyone love Matty? Or everyone loves food?
Or everyone loves spot.
Yeah. Perfect.
It does.
We have created a pho soup kitchen. And then I'll let you decide whether you want to spice up your life or not. Wait, everyone did legs? It's leg day? Please, no. Okay, I'm just gonna take a quick photo. Yeah, you're late, but you're ready to eat? Perfect. And I mean, should we be seeing the noodles underneath this? I don't think so. You just know that they're there, right? Yeah, that looks insanely delish. Okay, I'm gonna have a first bite on my own and then decide whether we want to spice it up or not. If you want, you can grab the other chair from over there if you want to sit, or you can just take it away or eat with me. Oh! I almost forgot the crunch. Even more. Because, like, health reasons. Matty hated the sprouts anyways, so there's that, but I heckin' love sprouts. Bran, you like sprouts? Turn that off. Sorry. We're gonna be very white. I don't have any chopsticks. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Hello, Blitz. We have this. We have sriracha. We actually ended up with oyster sauce instead of hoisin, so that's optional. Okay. Let's get into this oxtail side first. Some of the noodles. Is this gonna be insane or what? And I'm gonna do the slurp for you. Mmm. I think you could still use a little bit more salt. Just I think because of the meat is quite rich. But that's really it. The broth is so flavorful. And let's also do this. This might counteract what's happening. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. A good squeeze of fresh lime. Here. Yeah, probably just a sprinkle of salt on the meats, right? That's all I felt was lacking. Because that oxtail is really fatty, so it'll coat your palate. Had to clean the keyboard again, and then once we mix in like the herbaceous part of it, is gonna change the flavor as well. And then you can also see how the noodles keep like soaking up the broth and liquid as they sit in it. I'm gonna get a good slurp with all this. Mmm. That is so, so good. Really freshened it up and brought way more flavor out. The mint, the cilantro is so, so fresh tasting, and then the rest of it is so unctuous and rich, right? Very, very good. I should sprinkle salt on randos as well. Okay, who in chat, hands up, has had pho before or even made it, let's say? I don't know where he went. I don't even know where he went right now. But yeah, even just like if we look, want to show everyone. It is, yeah. The color of the broth. You have both hands up, Maya. Nice. Quav, Fantisi. All the way up. Do like a good pho. Eweb says, but I always enjoy ramen better. I think me too still. We just like the richness, don't we? Mmm. Enjoy. It's a little bit cooled off now, but I think the flavor though.
Oh man, that's spot
we
on.
did it, hey?
So good. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 Swords Fitness. Thank you for the follow.
So good.
Nice. You're Asian and you grew up eating it. Awesome. So yeah, here on my stream, go enjoy it. And if you need any of this, you can take it. Okay. Okay. Thanks for saving up the points watching.
Thanks so much for fun.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
There's
Now you know
lots.
how to make
Yeah, exactly.
the best.
Now when we're in the truck and gone, you can make pho. Okay, enjoy lunch.
I will.
Okay, so my brother saved up the Twitch channel points just watching the stream. Doesn't cost him anything. Asked me to make this for him. Look at this. I can't even pick the meat up. It's just falling apart. If anyone wants to see anything like this kind of different being made, that's a great way to request that. And I also really enjoy the challenge of making new and different items all the time. Matty would be proud of this one. Like I said, it's kind of cooled off now that we've added everything into here, but even like lukewarm eating this, just all of the flavors are awesome. The face he made. That's always when you can tell, right? The reaction doesn't lie. And then I was gonna say, BB Bubs, Sam is kind of the same as you. I think he really loves ramen more than pho. And that's okay. This, like Greek was saying, this is actually pretty healthy. Like the broth isn't that rich. The meats are a bit rich, but they don't have to be. And then all the aromatics are so good for you, and the herbs, the veggies. Aw, his face lit up. The best. The best. Oh, thank you for following on Insta. Yeah, that's where I basically make my food portfolio of all the different stuff that we've cooked on stream over the last over 3.5 years. Black garlic ramen. I think we have a couple viewers in here that enjoy that one.
New video on Monday on YouTube.
And yeah, after stream today, I'm going to be finishing up editing the next YouTube video that's going to be uploaded tomorrow morning. is all about my stream setup behind the scenes. So it should be helpful for the streamers that maybe watch the stream as I go through all the equipment we use, stuff to watch for. It's gonna be a good one. You are these viewers, Bubs. As long as you get like a rice cooker, Eric, I'm pretty sure that's the easiest way to try and make black garlic. And can you purchase a pho? I really don't think that we're gonna have enough left, Chris. Is I have to make sure there's enough for my sister-in-law. But if there is enough noodles, by all means, we can let you know. Sam can give you a message. This was a very fun stream, and as always on Sundays, we usually do a quick and easy Sunday stream so that you're able to go enjoy the rest of your weekend if you have other stuff to do, because we'll be back tomorrow on Twitch. Not cooking again, but we actually do our menu plan streams on Mondays, and that way we are able to talk together, decide what we want to be cooking coming up on the weekend. A good way, if you don't have enough Twitch channel points, you can make suggestions on tomorrow's menu planning stream, and I might say, yeah, we'll make that, right? It's been fun. So yeah, hope to see everyone tomorrow. Hopefully we inspired you to create some deliciousness for yourself. Maybe someone else, because Sharon is Karen. This is yummy. I'm gonna feel very good after eating this. I felt good after eating yesterday's meal that we made on stream. I'm gonna feel even better. And this is like a 2-meal pho bowl. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I always start at 11 a.m. Pacific on Twitch. And if you miss us throughout the week, make sure you follow us on the socials. I'm always posting new stuff there too. Okay, I'm looking. Who are we gonna go raid now? It's like a raid train. Let's keep it going. We are gonna go raid another one of my favorite food and drink streamers, Cheese Pizza. He's doing a pizza pop-up stream. Let me just check to see if he's still going. Yep, he's still going. Heck yeah. We've also cooked some of Cheese Pizza's recipes before on stream. His Detroit-style pizza is unreal. Yeah, body warming soup. I'm also gonna go grab some of that sriracha and spice mine up too. Okay, that's all set up. Cheese is the best, and we haven't seen him in a while, so it'll be good to send love his way too. Go give him a follow. We're here to spread the deliciousness. Copy that raid call if you want to follow us on the raid. And other than that, friends, thanks for all the love today. We had a lot of awesome resubs. Thank you to all of the awesome raids that came in as well. Hope you had a good weekend. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Time for another new week. And yeah, Sama is playing Metroid. He thinks he only has like 4 or 5 hours left because of the different items that he's been getting. So he's almost there. Sammy is playing Samus. Okay, I'm gonna hit that button, friends. And if you need anything at all, you know where to find us. We got an awesome Discord community, or you could even whisper on Twitch. We're around. We're here for all of the questions. I'm hitting this button. See y'all tomorrow. Take care. Love ya. Stay safe. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.